As I promised, I'm going to make some zucchini noodles for you guys this afternoon and show you how to use the spiralizer that I put on my KitchenAid. It comes with 4 different attachments, and I've chosen one that is not a really fine cut, but it works just great for these zucchini noodles. And if any of you have ever used Pampered Chef and used the apple peeler core slicer thing, this is very similar. You have a little place you stick your zucchini on. I've already washed these and cut the ends off. Snap this piece in place, slide it forward, and then I just turn this on. And I keep the bowl away from the machine so it catches as it comes down. It goes really quick and easy. There's going to be a core left, and we usually feed that to the goats, or I chop it up sometimes. Just depends. For today, I'll probably just feed it to the goat after I'm done. By leaving the skin on, you're going to have a more crisp noodle. Zucchinis have a lot of moisture, so if you were to peel it before you did this, you would lose a lot of moisture. It wouldn't be as crisp. So we just slide this back, and we put our next one on. And you may see on the board I've got 2 pieces of squash also there. Zucchinis are kind of long, so I have to take this off and on. And I just let it get started, and it will move its way down. There we go. And these come out to be really long pieces, which makes it interesting to eat. It doesn't cut quite like a pasta does, and it's kind of hard to wrap it around your fork when you're eating it. So a few differences. And Ben, you want to show what it looks like in the bowl? My little videographer is helping out this afternoon. And if you have comments, I'm not going to see them to the end because my son's helping out here. So we're going to stop that. Slide this one off. The squash are a little shorter, so I don't have to take my attachment quite all the way off. And then we're ready to go again. The zucchini and squash together make a really good tasting dish, and it gives a little variety to the taste rather than just using zucchini. You can see how easy this is. And he'll pan over and show you. I've already got my iron skillet ready to go. So when I have these finished, we'll be ready to cook. And it takes about 5 minutes to cook. So it's a really fast dish. So you'll want to use a vegetable that's not really ripe and squishy. I made sure when I washed these, they were both very firm. If they're overripe, you're going to have it turn to mush when you cook it. And there we go. So I just come over to my pan and I pull out about half of this. You can see how long these are. And then I just throw it in the pan. I just got olive oil in there. I'm going to do a little sprinkle of pepper, a little sprinkle of salt, and then I use Olive Garden dressing. I picked this up at Sam's Walmart. Gives it a little Italian flavor. It's a vinaigrette. And then I just have a pair of tongs. I move these around. If you cook it too long, you think you're going to get them crisp, but they actually will not get really crisp if you do that. They will get really smushy if you cook too long. So I just get them in there and get them kind of seared is what I try to do. And then while that cooks, I'm going to put this over here for the goat, and he doesn't have to pan over. He'll show you the pan there. I've got a bowl. We'll transfer these over. And also what I found, if I cook these ahead before I make the salad and get the other things together, that it absorbs the flavoring of my Olive Garden dressing and has a little bit better flavor. So I'll cook it, cover it, and just leave it sitting close by while I finish the rest of our meal. So if you see the pot on the back, I've got that getting ready for the boys' pasta. They're going to have regular pasta tonight while I have my zoodles. And they really are tasty. So I'll give these about another minute and I'm going to move them over. They're still quite firm feeling. I don't want it to feel like they're getting squishy, so I babysit the pan a lot when I make these. I don't want to overcook. And see how pretty they are? So I'll just dump these over. Add a touch more olive oil. And then I'll add the rest of them. And just move them around a little bit. Add my seasonings. Salt will draw out moisture, so you don't want to use a lot of salt, but I like to have a little salt for flavoring. So I'll add a little salt. And then add my Olive Garden dressing. Move it around and get everything coated and just let it cook. So you can see zoodles are quick and easy. They're a low carb. So if you're watching your carbs and you're missing your pasta night, you can do these. If you're vegetarian, gluten-free, also another excellent option. So if you have questions about this, pop them down there in the comments. I'll check them later. And for now, I'll sign off and tell my videographer he can hit the done button.